You are welcome once again to a new edition of my podcast in the Fashion Millionaires Room. Here, I will be talking to you about advertising skills and budgets you need for your fashion e-commerce to succeed. My name is Laoye Curtis, and I'm your host. When you want to grow your fashion business to 7 figures, 8 figures per month or per annum, you should be talking to me because I have you covered. Welcome once again to the Fashion Millionaires Room. We've been talking in past editions of this podcast series about the need for an online store to direct people to in order for you to run effective paid ads. Okay, and that includes also having sales pages to help you do the sales. And you need an ads platform, particularly human based platforms or app-based platforms. Now we're talking about the skills you need and the budget to put together in order for you to run ads, which can drive sales on your fashion e-commerce store. So e-commerce, like you know, is electronic commerce, okay? So it's more or less like an architecture to help you generate sales online using established systems that are in place. So if you're going to be running ads, there are skills that you need to acquire. Yeah, some of them you need to acquire them so you can do it yourself, and some you need to acquire them so that when you outsource, you are not blind to whatever the person working for you or running the ads for you is doing. I'd put, I'll put my money on the table to pay for a training to learn how to run effective Facebook ads or Instagram ads or TikTok ads or YouTube ads or LinkedIn ads. I will pay to learn them. However, I understand I can't do everything in my business. I have a team working with me as we are listening right now. They are generating highlights of this conversation to post on all our social media handles. Someone would see me on WhatsApp right now, see me on Facebook, see me on Instagram, and be wondering, how is it everywhere at the same time? There's a team making it happen. Time was when I couldn't do all of this, and I had to, restrict myself to the best options I could use per time. But now that we have a team, we can do what? Scale. We can scale. So that said, when we talk about the art skills that you need to develop, there are two ways to go about it. One of them is by trial and error, and the other is by paying to learn. Yeah, you pay to learn from someone who has done it, has gotten results, and can repeat the results again and again. You need to pay. You need to pay. Now, consider this as part of your continuous personal development. Yes, your continuous personal development. Because the day we stop learning is the day we start dying. Your business will thrive on what you know, not what you don't know. So if you don't know how to run ads, how will you be able to scale your business beyond organic, especially when you are ready to expand? That's it. And one of the things I've learned from Robert Kiyosaki's wife, Kim Kiyosaki, she says, before herself and her husband jump into any form of investing tool, they first pay for a training on how to use that investment tool, as well as how, the investment tool works. Say, for example, they want to go into real estate. They first go for trainings to learn how real estate works before they jump in. Then once they've learned how it works, they don't just jump in with their old money. You know what they do? They spend little, learn, make mistakes, correct, and then spend a little more and a little more. Because the little they spend, in multiples, eventually become big investments. By the time they are doing that for 6 months, they would have mastered that space they are in. So that wisdom from Kim Kiyosaki and Robert Kiyosaki is what I brought to you also. You don't want to do trial and error. I've seen many fashion designers, fashion entrepreneurs who would rather go and mass produce ready to wear collections and then run Facebook ads to sell, ending up with nothing. Yes, I've seen that. They come to me, they ask for advice, I tell them what they can do, and then recommend my top coaching program, which is in 90 days to launch. For them, the 60K price tag in Nigerian naira, I mean, abroad, I think it's about 180 dollars or $250 or thereabout. I can't remember for now. But the thing is that they look at the price attached, and in their mind, oh, I can do it on my own. Then they go out, they fail, and then they come back. And when they come back, we end up where we started. They still need to get my course because I've answered everything there. So please don't run beyond your shadow, okay? Don't run faster than your shadow because you can't. You'll just run yourself into the ground. I will never subscribe to you doing trial and error. Pay to learn how it is done. Now, when you pay to learn how ads are run, that skill becomes yours, or that knowledge becomes yours. But that knowledge will not be transformed into skill until you practice. So you got to practice. When you practice, you would understand what is called fear. Because you will not be sure whether it will work or not. But then when you step in and you practice, you make little mistakes, you correct your mistakes, and you continue. The thing is, we need to go back to Kim Kiyosaki's advice. Rather than just pumping a lot of money into ads, say Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or YouTube ads, or what have you, whichever one you're going for. Rather than just pumping a lot of money because you think it's going to give you a big payday, why don't you spend little per time to study and learn how these platforms work? And from learning, in terms of applying what what you've been taught, you would improve. Because I tell people, true learning comes from practice, not from knowledge. Knowledge is, packaged information, which is meant to solve a specific problem. However, wisdom is the right application of that knowledge. How will you be able to get wisdom if you don't practice? And the best way to learn is by making mistakes. That's why failure is an indispensable part of your success story. Many people don't know that, but I've shared with you, and I hope you will learn from that. So, with all of this information I've shared with you, the other bit I need you to know is this. When you invest in learning how to run these ads and all, you have that assurance that come what may, you know what to do. And when you practice, you learn. That's one. Two, you have the option of outsourcing the same thing you have learned to someone else. Isn't that beautiful? You have the option of outsourcing the thing you've learned to someone else without being lost. As for what they do. Like the guy I told you, paid 20K for them to run ads for me. They did something else. I didn't take offense, but I told them, oh, this is how I run to generate leads, and it has worked for me several times, especially organically. Can you replicate it for me? And then they charged me ×3 of what they requested earlier. And in my mind, I'm like, this is something I've done. I've done it severally. You goofed the first time. I'm not taking offense because I don't have the time to do all of this. That's why I'm outsourcing it to you. Yet they thought they were smart. So I just cut them off. I won't have anything to do with them. When you go to their sales page, you will love what you see there. But your experience in real time may be different. So what do? I decided to teach my staff. So I turned on my laptop, it's the business laptop, access the Facebook course I bought for 150K, and I told them to sit down and start learning. Another course I bought for about 5K thereabout, which broke down even Facebook pixel for me, as well as running paid ads, that direct people to your seller store, which I didn't really take seriously before. Once I found it, turned on my phone and said, guys, sit with this and learn how to run ads. What have I done? I've replicated myself in my staff. So those guys can run ads for the company even when I'm not there. Now, I'm promoting my friend Constance Opara's, course, which is sell out using Instagram ads. She focuses on using Instagram ads, and she's telling you can do 6 figures in sales, and she wants to teach you because she's done it. I'm promoting it, in this podcast. You might search for Connie Opara, Connie, Connie, Opara, Opara. Search for her on Facebook. You're definitely going to see her, or Instagram. You're going to see her page, and you can leverage, what she has. I mean, it's inexpensive. I'm getting it, and I'm teaching my staff to do the same thing. Can you see the power of knowing how to do something? Very, very indispensable. Okay? Now, aside from this, when you, like I've said, when you outsource, to someone to do it for you, they can't mess your business up. Same thing applies to those fashion entrepreneurs who know how to make their products themselves. When they hire staff to do the job, the staff cannot take them for granted. The staff cannot hold them to ransom. An example is Abimbola Oshoba last year when she was about to launch a ready-to-wear collection, which went on to do over 1.5 million in sales for her within 1 month. Our staff all ganged up to leave our company the very week they started production for our collection. She had to call me and tell me, "Sir, this is what I have. I'm sewing my clothes myself." And then I had to pull one out. Incidentally, there was a lady that needed a job at the time who was very good at making clothes. Connected them together, and they put all the effort in. 2 people produced clothes that generated over 1.6 million eventually within 4 weeks. So when you have the skill, you cannot be taken for a ride. That is the benefit of developing skills. So I've told you, get the training and do what? Get the confidence. Then you have the choice to decide, do I want to do it myself or do I want to pay someone to do it? When I pay someone, I understand the process. They can't take me for a ride. Now, what about ads budget? Ads budget simply means you pulling funds together that you're going to pump into running ads. Now, you need to run ads that will help you to get people to follow you, particularly on Instagram. Let me paint a picture for you how this works. You run an ad to promote one of your posts on your Instagram page, which talks about a pain point that your target audience cannot resist. If I talk about how you can do 1 million per month in your fashion business on my Instagram page and run it as a carousel, okay? A carousel means, slide a deck of slides that you can slide from left to right. You see that on Instagram a lot. And in the carousel, I put up, steps to take for you to do 1 million a month in Naira, for example, or in dollars to do $10,000 a month. If I put up an ad like that and you slide through the slide deck, maybe just 5, and at the end of the slide deck, the last slide, I'm saying, sign up for my free workshop coming up August 4. And I run it targeting fashion entrepreneurs. I believe I'm going to get good response. Why? Because I'm talking about real pain points for those fashion designers that are tired of doing 6 figures, who want to scale. Okay? A fashion designer who is just starting may not believe enough to want to be part. They will think it's a scam. But the ones that are in business, they can relate to that content because they've been trying to get to 7 figures, but never having a headway. Such people will run towards that. So imagine I run that kind of ads or that kind of ad on Instagram, and I start getting people to follow my page, because one reaction people usually do when it comes to seeing content that really touch their pain points, that talks to their spirit, soul, and body, is that they follow that page. Yeah, they follow the page even before clicking the link to sign up for whatever you're giving them. So imagine they click to sign up for my webinar, but then before they click, they follow my page. I'll receive notification from Instagram that so and so account followed you. I'll tap on the name of the account, go into their DM, and send them a message introducing myself. And maybe giving them an offer, that they cannot resist. It may not be to buy my product, but it's usually to get them to exchange their WhatsApp contact with me. Okay? I can do that. So imagine you run ads, you're running ads for the whole of the month. Say, for example, $1 a day ads or $2 a day ads. I mean, whatever the exchange rate is at the moment, run by that. For minimum 500 naira in Nigerian currency, okay? You run that ad a day for 30 days, that's 18,000 that you would have spent. That's an ad budget of 18,000 to generate leads. If you do that and you do it effectively, a lot of people are going to follow you. Prepare what I call a 1-minute pitch, which is a message that they would read in less than a minute. That is, when they read it, it will take them less than a minute to read it. That introduces you, give them a compelling reason to exchange their contacts with you. You need their WhatsApp contact for follow-up. Boom. Okay, so what can you give them in return as a bonus? Whatever. When I do that, my advert is helping me to get followers and also helping me to do lead generation that I can follow up. When I'm following up on them on WhatsApp, I am not paying any money to any ad platform anymore. I can keep sending them messages till they block my number, till kingdom come. You see the importance of, having an ad budget. So I've given you an example, an ad budget of 18K at 500 naira per day for 30 days. You can do that, or you can scale it downward, or you can increase it. But that is just so you can do lead generation. So I'm going to talk about that more in the kinds of ads that you should be running. But for now, I'm sure you've learned something helpful in this conversation. Once again, my name is Laoye Curtis, and I'll be very glad to talk with you about growing your business, growing your income, starting your ready-to-wear business, because that's the future of fashion, in Africa as it is right now. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye for now.